going on, everybody? Just out here in the garage. My girlfriend got a set of Evotech passenger block-off plates for her 2001 Triumph Street Triple that I'm going to install on the bike for her. Yeah, it's part of the honey-do list. When she gets new things for a bike, babe, can you install my part that I got on me? She's a great rider, but when it comes down to putting things on her bike, that's my territory. So I'm just gonna jump right into it, and yeah, it's a beautiful bike. I'll give you a few shots of the bike first here, and then I'll do a little video on how to install the passenger peg delete. All right, well here's her bike. Yeah, as I said, it's a 2001 Triumph Street Triple 765. Yeah, she's absolutely loving this bike. She got it last summer, and she's upgrading from a CB 650R, and she's just absolutely loving this. It's a beautiful bike. It's really awesome colors. I think that's what got us when we were at the dealership and we were looking at getting a new bike for her, and this one definitely caught her eye. It's more than enough power that she could ever need, yeah, it's going to be really good on the track for her too as well. She's eventually going to be taking it on the track and doing that stuff as well. Mainly street riding that we do on it, but yeah, it took a little while to get used to it, but she's getting really good on it. And here's the passenger foot pegs that we're going to be removing. I definitely do agree. They kind of stand out like a sore thumb, especially when you're looking at it from like the side of the motorcycle or from the back. Like, they hang out there pretty wide. I think it'll definitely clean up the aesthetic of the bike with them removed. So we'll get on that and get them removed for her. It seems like a pretty simple process to remove them. It doesn't seem too complicated. I think the main thing is getting the battery out and underneath the seat, getting access in there, and then that's where the bolts for the passenger pegs are. They're just up in here, and then all that you get in through access through the top down here, and with removing the battery. Here's the block-off plates that she got. They're made by Evotech. I find that Evotech makes really nice stuff. I had an Evotech rad guard for my old MT10, and it looked really good on there. And all the stuff we've gotten from them have been really awesome quality. And I give you a bag of all the different bolts that you need for it. And yeah, so it just seems like a pretty simple process. It's 2 bolts, and take off the 2 bolts for the foot pegs, and then just install the 2 bolts to hold these in. So I mean, it can't be too hard from there. This part is we're definitely gonna have to get the rear passenger cowling off here. That's not a seat. That's the one that you can order from Triumph that blocks off the passenger seat and makes it look a little bit cleaner. So we'll get that off. In order to do that, there's a keyhole on the other side of the bike that you access there, and then just turn the key and it pops out. And then you'll have to take off the seat. In order to take off the seat, there's one bolt here at the back, and then you just take that out, and then the seat slot you just pull backwards, and the seat pops off. So we'll get that off there, and then we'll get the battery removed. All right, so just take the seat off here. Just a key on the side here. You just do that and give the key a turn, and that just pops off. Put that somewhere safe so you don't lose it and don't scratch it. And then to take off the seat, it is a number 5 hex, and there's a bolt right here. You just take that bolt out. It's not in there very tight. You also don't have to put it very tight when you put it back in, because you just strip it. And once you get that bolt loose, the seat just comes up, pull it up a little bit, and it slides back. Gotta get it out more, I guess. So there's the bolt out, and it just slides back. Oh look! There's my 10mm socket that decided to walk away. I was wondering where that went. When I put on the battery tender, I must have forgot it. You little bugger. Well, it makes it really handy when you leave your tools inside the bike for the next time you have to work on them. Pro tip. I like to take off the ground screw first, the ground wires first, just because then if I accidentally touch the positive against anything metal on the bike, I don't create an arc and have the potential of messing up the electronics. So I always take the neutral side off first. Just alleviates the issue of anything. Once you get the battery out, you just take off these little bolt nuts here, and just take them, and if you want, you can throw the battery nut back into the battery terminal post, and then I go over here, take off the positive side as well. They're not on there very tight either. Alright, in order to get the battery out, it's held in this little retaining clip and strap here. You just push it down and pull the strap back, and the battery will just slide out. Alright, so to get the passenger foot pegs off, all you have to do is take out these two bolts right here. There's one down here, and then there's one down here, and then obviously it's the same on the other side. And I'll just find out what size they are. Uh, 13 was too big, so they're a 12 mil socket to get those guys out. Might need a bigger wrench for this one. I don't know how tight they're in there. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to a larger size wrench. Alright, so I got those loose. Just gonna take one side off for now. There you go, babe. There's your foot peg off. Alright, and now we'll get the other side off. Same process. And then just kind of slide down, and they just pop out. Easy as that. There's the second one off. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to get them on. Open up the packages and see what they gave us for some nuts and bolts, and we'll go from there. Alright, so in order to install the block-off plates, it is a 13 mil socket. It's 12 mil to take out the bolts that come stock on the bike, and they are 13 mil to put the bolts that Evotech provides. So in order to install them, you got to match up what side is which for which bike. It's all angled. If you put it in the wrong way, it's going to be sitting all funky in the bike. So when you get it right, it'll be on the same angle of the contour of the fairings on the bike. They just go up into the frame where the foot pegs were attached to before, and you just slide the bolts in the location where the other foot pegs were. It's probably pretty hard to see, so you just kind of line them up and use the provided bolts that they give you. tight little spot in here. And the bolts aren't very long. So they had it short on them so they fit in the frame, which makes sense, but you can just use your socket to give them a little bit of a pre-twist. You want to do them tight because you're going to have to move them around a little bit to match like the shape of the bike. And the holes are a little bit bigger than, so just put the socket on there and kind of come right here. Try and find the hole. Alright, so I was having a little bit of an issue with the holes lining up inside, so I have a step bit here that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to make the hole just one size bigger, and that way the holes will line up a little better. It's a little tight in there, so in order to do that I'm just going to step bit that out a bit. I'm not sure if that'll be a problem with every single one, but it definitely was with this one. That's the front one. Alright, just one size bigger. Diameter hole's a little bigger, should go in a little bit easier now, I think. Alright, well, with the wonderful world of video magic, I finally got these bolts in. I had to step out the hole on the block-off bracket just to make it a little bigger. It didn't quite line up on both sides. The other thing you can do if you're worried about the bolts ever coming loose and them might rattling from all the vibration, you can put a little bit of blue Loctite on them, and that will help secure the bolts in there. So got both sides in. You just put the two bolts back in where the stock ones were for the foot pegs, and then you just tighten them down. This type of thing isn't crucial for torque specs, so just good and tight. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright, there we go, all installed. Alright, well, I got the block-off plates, passenger block-off plates all installed now. And yeah, it looks like a completely different bike. It's nice and clean there, nice and flush. You don't got these big honking things hanging out the side. They look pretty good. They fit the contour of the bike, which is nice, and yeah, they did a pretty good job on them. The only issue that I had is that I had to step out those holes to get a little bit bigger, but your mileage may vary if you order the same ones. They make pretty good stuff, and it's the first time I've had something not line up with them. So I guess now it's time to put the battery back in. It's obviously the same process as, you know, taking it out. You're just putting it back in. And just take your little strap and your little clip, give it a little bit of a tug, pull it over the clip. We got a clip right here, and that secures the battery in. And then it's the same process to putting everything back together. Just positive there, negative there. Grab your trusty 10 mil socket. Make sure it doesn't run away on you again. Alright, there's the battery installed. Got the battery tender wires on here. I'm just going to tuck them open over here and keep them out of the way of the seat. Pull that tucked in there, that comes out. Alright, and it's just the same process for putting the seat back on. You take out your little bolt, they just throw it away there. Seat's got a little tiny thing here, and it just slides in. And there's some clips at the back, they're going to line up as well. And you just push that down like that, and find your wrench, your socket again, here. And then you just put the bolt back in right here. This one also doesn't have to be very tight. Alright, so that's the process for getting the seat back, and then just to put this guy back on, it just goes that way, slides in, a little clip, and you just give the bike a little push, and once you hear that click, it's all in there and back together. So, I mean, without me filming, this process probably would have maybe taken an hour. With filming, it's taken me a lot longer than an hour, and so, but yeah, it probably would only take about an hour to install this. Especially if you're a little better with tools and know a little bit more with what you're doing. But yeah, it really changed the aesthetic of a bike. It looks really good. Would definitely recommend them. Evotech Performance for this bike. They make a lot of nice stuff. So if you're ever looking for stuff, go onto their website, and they have lots of different stuff for different bikes. So yeah, so there they are installed. They look really good. What do you think, babe? Do you like them?
I love them.
Awesome. Good. No more foot pegs on there. We got them installed for you, and now I can't take a passenger anywhere. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like my content. There's much more to come. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and peace!